the judge gave me a very stern talking to. He called me names, degraded me in front of the whole courtroom. But he assured me that if I didn't make it, he said, you will come back in front of my bench and you will do every year that you're exposed to based on their plea agreement. Now get out of my courtroom. And I did. And thankfully, I never saw him again. Until, coincidentally, he showed up at a tree lot to buy a Christmas tree. I'd already done my 2 years. I was clean. I wasn't exposed to that prison term anymore. And I was the cashier at a tree lot. And he walked up and I recognized him and he handed me a check, and that's when I knew it was him. And I said, Judge, do you remember me? And he didn't, and I reminded him who I was, and then he did. And I thanked him for the opportunity and told him that I'd fulfilled the obligation that he demanded that I fulfill, and that I decided to stay to help other people that were in as much trouble as I was. And he asked me to come outside, and I did, and he shook my hand and gave me a hug. And that's the last time I saw him. It was crazy. True story.
We have a correctional system that's based on the assumption that most of what people need in order to change is more motivation. So if we create a really aversive situation for them that they'll want to avoid at all costs in the future, then they'll change. And that's fine if you've got somebody who's screwing up but has the skills to do something different. If what you have is not a problem of motivation but a problem of ability, the people just don't know how to live a sober life or an orderly life or an honest life. If they just have no experience doing that, you can motivate the heck out of them, but they're going to keep recycling back through the system over and over again.
I did a 2-year prison term. I got out for 60 days. 5-year prison term, got out for 59 days. 6-year prison term, got out for 4 months, and then a 10-year prison term and got out for 4 months. And now I'm looking at 29 years. I probably wasn't going to come home.
And that's what we have today, is a revolving door. And it's expensive and doesn't work.
It's hideous to think that incarceration is going to solve these problems.
There's nothing that changes in prison. The only thing that changes, and this doesn't even change, the drugs aren't even gone.
All you're doing is taking somebody that has a flaw in their character and their ability to live a normal life, addiction, and then you're sending them in there and teaching them ways to support that addiction by committing other crimes. All you're doing is exacerbating the problem.
Probably 80% go back. I know I did 100% of the time.
The long-term goal of the Other Side Academy is that every single person on the planet who is ready to change their life has the tools to do it.
There really is no comparison. You're almost guaranteed of recidivism if you go to prison. I mean, I think it's, some people say it's 70 or 80%. It's almost the exact opposite of the figures that I just gave you for our success rate.
Wanting to change, saying that is easy. But when those times arise, those tough times, and actually putting in the work and swallowing your pride and doing the things necessary to change, paints the horse a whole nother color.
When you get strung out on heroin, and it's just all consuming, you can't do anything. I mean, you just completely taken hostage by it. You wake up in the morning and you're got to just go and get your fix. I knew I was stuck. I knew I was in big trouble.
I stole from everybody under the sun. I'd borrow money from the neighbors. I'd lie to whoever I could to continue to get high and fulfill my need. It was a horrible way to live, horrible way.
When I was using cocaine, I would have nosebleeds from snorting so much, and all those kind of health implications, and I would try to quit. I would talk to myself in the mirror and swear I was going to quit, and I'd throw my dope away, and I'd break my paraphernalia, and I'd throw it in a trash can and go to sleep and be so proud of myself, and in the morning I'd get up and dig the stuff out of the trash again.
The basic problem is not addiction. The real problem is disconnection. People don't know how to live in an ordered, high-integrity, honest life with other people. And it takes a long time to learn that if you've been a long time practicing something that's the opposite of it. And so the current thing doesn't work because it's too short. It doesn't work because it's not credible. It doesn't work because oftentimes it's designed based on a funding model rather than the need of the participants.
Most people who go to your 30-day and 60-day and 90-day spin dry programs, they're called that because you're going in and out of them repeatedly. They're very, very low success rate. Maybe 10, 20% learn what they need to learn in one of those programs and succeed, but very few.